And we're back with Lake Kangaroo Studio. Like I said, I'm going to get back into posting for you all every week or so. And so today I'm going to talk to you all about terrain editing. It's been a new adventure I've been going on, and I wanted to teach you all the little tricks that I have learned so far. So without further ado, I'm going to switch my screen over and show you how the terrain editing works on Roblox Studio. All right, we are back with the terrain editing. I already opened Roblox Studio and I created a new game. I clicked the base plate setting one and then just deleted the base plate because we don't really need that with Roblox, with terrain editing. This create tab will give you an auto-generated terrain. So if you don't want to try to terrain edit yourself, it's an option. I would recommend against it just because when you auto-generate a terrain, it looks very AI done, I guess you could say, and not like an actual terrain would look. So this is where you can adjust the height of the terrain and the width, however large you want the terrain to be. And if you scroll down to material settings, that's where you can kind of choose the materials and what you want in there. And then you can turn caves on or off. If you have caves on, they're kind of cool, but they're not great caves. I would suggest if you want caves to build them on your own so you kind of have an idea of how you want to design the cave. Instead of auto-generating a terrain though, what I do is I click region and then I will click the select button. And this is where you can drag a huge square, however large you want it. I always try to make it as big as possible. If you click off, it will disappear. So this is where it gets a little more persnickety, I guess you could say, on creating terrain. And this is where a lot of my headache with terrain editing comes from, is trying to make the squares as big as I possibly can. And then it disappears, as you can see, like that. But it just comes with a learning curve. And as I have said before, I'm still new to learning all this. So there might be more tricks to terrain editing than what I am letting you all know. And if anyone else has any more tricks to this whole situation, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And I would love to read them because, like I said, I'm still in the learning mode of Roblox Studio. So I wanted to just give you all that kind of a heads up. After you click and get the terrain you want, and I always try to make it pretty thick because I like to add caves and lakes onto my terrain. And if you have it really thin, then the players can fall right through, and we don't want that to happen to our players. After you're all done with that, you can choose the material you want to add to it. I normally go with grass or leafy grass, depending on what my mood is, but there's a bunch of other options that you could add as well. So I'm just going to click on the grass. I'm going to click fill. And then down here, I'm going to click fill also. And there's our terrain that we have worked on. Now, the terrain looks a little flat because most terrain, even in grassy areas, have dips and hills and rivers sometimes, and different types of terrain if you want. So how you do that is you click edit, and this is where you get a whole bunch of other tools on how to edit terrain. So you can add, and that's just adding other terrain, and you can choose your different brushes that you want, and they all do different things. So I will go through each brush and kind of show you what they do. And then you can choose your brush size underneath that. This is a really large brush size, and you can go to a really tiny brush size. Depending on what you are terrain editing is what you'd want to change the brush size to. The smaller brush sizes you can get more details in, and the larger brush sizes you can get more terrain on. So I will click, just to show you all a different terrain, we'll click basalt, and we have our brush size at 11. So when you click it, this just adds the terrain to your world. It doesn't look great, and that's where you can start editing the terrain that you add. So we've added this train here, and then you can say I need to erode some of the terrain, and so I will click erode, and again you want to change your brush size, and this is where you can start molding the terrain into kind of what you want to see. So again, I'm just eroding this, and it is following my moves I want done. Grow, if I eroded something too far and wanted to grow it back out, you can click that, and this is growing the grass, and the reason it's doing that is because the grass is selected. If I wanted basalt to grow, I would have to click the basalt button to grow it, and to smooth it, you would click on it, and it's kind of like a road in a way, but it smooths the entire terrain out instead of eroding down through it. And then flattening is just what it sounds like. It will follow the graph that's on there and we'll flatten it to where it's completely flat. This is great for plateaus if you want to make a plateau for people to be able to run on. And then paint, I use it if I want to make paths, is the best way I found to make paths. Also to make lakes, I will use it to color in, and it just paints over the terrain. The problem with this is if you paint it and then you want to erode it, it won't keep the paint. The paint will go away and you can see the other terrain. So I use it only for surface edits at the end, really. And so then erode, you can erode and see I'm making a little lake here. If I wanted to make a cave system, I would just erode it like so. And then cave systems are harder, and I will do a whole video on how to make a cave system because it took me a long time to learn how to do it. But yeah, you would just erode into the world, and that's why I suggested making it pretty thick, because if you are making a cave and you erode all the way through, then you run the risk of falling through your terrain. So this is just a quick introduction to what all the different tools you do with the terrain editing. I haven't even gone through all of them. This was just a quick, easy intro tutorial. If you have any other questions with terrain editing, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you want to learn more about any of the tools that I gave you a brief intro to, also feel free to drop that in the comments below. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you. All right, I wanted to switch my camera back on real quick to just let you all know that was terrain editing, just in a quick nutshell. I might go and the next video go more in depth with making caves on terrain editing, along with how to make mountains in the background. Those might be two different videos. I hope you all enjoyed the terrain editing video. If you have any other questions, like I said, feel free to drop them in the comments below. And if you want to keep following Lake Kangaroo for some Roblox editing advice, feel free to hit that subscribe button. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see you again.